Greetings! Yes, I'm still here, even though the number of videos I've been making has been a big fat 0 over the last 6 months. For those of you who are still subscribed to this channel, I'd like to say thank you. And I guess I owe an explanation as to why I haven't put out any videos over the last 6 months. In reality, this video is to address the elephant in the room for me, which is why I left Destiny 2. First, I've tried really hard not to do a full salt-powered dump on Destiny 2. And truthfully, being someone who was super invested in the Destiny franchise, I got to a point earlier this year where I actually started to hate, and I truly mean hate, Destiny 2. And my angst and anger over Destiny 2 got to the point where every time I sat down to do a YouTube video, even if it was for a different game, I just didn't care. I didn't care to make videos anymore because this game just made me so angry. It still makes me angry. I've now come to realize that I personally need to rant. And I mean rant very strongly and loudly about the things I hate about Destiny 2 and why I'm never going to play this game again. Number one, lore. For starters, I love science fiction. I really get into the minutiae and background details of a franchise or a universe of a science fiction series I enjoy. Whether it be a great franchise or a gaming franchise or a TV franchise or a particular film, I really get invested in it. As a teenager, I became really heavily invested in Star Trek. I still love Star Trek, even today. My favorite film of all time over any film or movie ever made is a Star Trek movie. Having said that, I don't count all films or TV series that have the label Star Trek as being a valid part of the universe. Particularly, if I had to point out something specifically, it would be the Enterprise prequels and the reboot films by J.J. Abrams. Side note, I absolutely loathe J.J. Abrams for what he has done to modern science fiction. I detest that man. He should be thrown into a volcano for his atrocities.
I hate you! Hate, 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 hate. Double hate. Loathe entirely.
Anywho, back to Star Trek. I don't count all Star Trek as Star Trek. Just because it says Star Trek on the cover doesn't mean it's Star Trek. To my mind, Star Trek is the original series, Next Generation, DS9, Voyager, and movies 1 through 10. Telric, you're crazy! What is your problem? Why don't you count the reboot films or Enterprise or Discovery? I can hear you guys questioning me from 100 miles away. What's your problem? Simple. Continuity. Or as fans like to call it, canon. When a series or film contradicts its predecessors, it is either invalid or it invalidates the predecessors. Two things that don't agree cannot be correct. It is a pragmatic and mathematical truth. One is right and one is wrong. They can't be both right. So, I, as a fan, have chosen to invalidate the newest content because it is an attempt to undo or rewrite the original works of the franchise. Another franchise that has had its continuity issues on a different level is Star Wars. No, Telric, don't go into Star Wars. I'll be gentle, I promise. Look, I don't really like the new Star Wars films. Aside from Rogue One, I adore that movie. But aside from my personal distaste of the personality change of the characters and the shoddy directing, the new films don't invalidate the original movies. Lore's intact, right? Yeah, it's intact. Except that Star Wars 7 and Star Wars 8 invalidate a huge number of expanded universe books and comics published before those films came out. One of my all-time favorite sci-fi book series is Star Wars Rogue Squadron. Wonderful books. I still enjoy reading those today. Have those now been invalidated by these new films? I don't know. I know some do. Some books have been invalidated. Some of the other bigger titles besides the Rogue Squadron. But as I'm not as invested in Star Wars as much, I don't know how much of a sticking point this is for some fans. But nevertheless, it has happened. The films have invalidated some of the expanded universe. A franchise that, in my opinion, did their canon perfectly and is my favorite overall sci-fi franchise is Stargate. 3 movies, 3 TV shows, and no contradictions. Beautiful. Love it. Stargate SG-1 is my favorite TV show of all time, even over Star Trek. They did everything right, in my opinion. So at this point, you may be asking, what's your point, Telric? My point is this. The most egregious sin committed by Bungie is the contradiction of the lore and grimoire from Destiny to Destiny 2. Where in Star Trek or Star Wars we call the continuity of the story canon, in Destiny it's called lore. The popular term for what Bungie did to screw up their continuity is to retcon or retroactively construct the lore of the Destiny franchise. It's a way to negate previous writings in an attempt to tell a new story that disagrees with what was previously established. Look, I love Destiny. I enjoy the Crucible and the raids and the universe and the space magic and the shooting mechanics, but most of all, I fell in love with the story, and beyond that, the story that wasn't told, that was only hinted at in the grimoire. At the beginning of Destiny, the story was vague and shrouded, and the grimoire had these tidbits and clues and hints about what this universe held. And as each DLC came into the game, new clues and stories and lore fell into place that made the world and universe of Destiny grow and take shape. And I fell in love with it. Destiny 2 has consistently and blatantly contradicted and attempted to rewrite the story put forth by Destiny 1. In fact, here's a short list of some of the things that are, in my opinion, the worst. First point, according to the writers of the Cursed Osiris DLC, the comic books written just for the DLC are now established lore and canon, and they directly contradict an important aspect of Destiny Grimoire, the legacy of Osiris, the expulsion of the Concordat from the Consensus, and the subsequent invitation to the future War Cult to take their place on the Consensus. In a nutshell, the D2 writer said, screw your lore, here's what really happened. I'm sorry, I'm not going to swallow that pill. Second, the contradiction of Rasputin being trapped on Mars for centuries? Wrong.
They didn't get much. Kept hitting an active firewall. Old Earth. Russian. Legends are true. A war mine did survive the collapse. Rasputin. An AI built to defend Earth. He faced the darkness and survived. And he's protecting something here in the Cosmodrome. We have to find a way to reach him. This array is controlled by the last war mine, Rasputin. It's connecting to defense constructs all across the system. There could be something out there to help us survive the darkness.
He was trapped on Earth until our character released him in the Last Array campaign mission. Wonderful writing, morons. Third, how about Lord Saladin still being called the Last Iron Lord? Hello? I'm an Iron Lord. Saladin knighted me in the Rise of Iron. My name is Young Wolf the Telric. Remember that for the future. But seriously, did we all just forget about Lady Ephrodite? One of the original 9 Iron Lords? Come on! What about the Iron Temple? Why didn't we go to the Iron Temple instead of the farm at the beginning of Destiny 2? Why was Tyra Cairn the Temple Cryptarch in the city and not the Temple during the Cabal attack? What happened to Shiro 4? Why does Bungie treat Rise of Iron like it never happened? Fourth, Anna Bray in the Warmind DLC is dead. No, I'm dead serious. She was confirmed dead. She took the second death. If you go back into the exotic questline to get the exotic No time to explain pulse rifle. Lakshmi confirms that Anna Bray died, and I quote, the second death, unquote. So why is Anna Bray alive again in the Warmind DLC? And I know for some of you listening to me rant about this, you're like, dude, you're making a big case out of nothing. Well, to me, it's a big deal. On top of that, on top of the lore and the Grimoire contradictions, Destiny 2 completely changed the tone of the established characters. And for major characters we want to see from the lore, they wrote those characters to be very shallow. Case in point, Zavala, mighty leader of the Vanguard. Now he's an indecisive jack mule. I mean, come on, get your stuff together, stupid. Ikora Rey, serene, powerful warlock who could kick Shax's butt to the moon in the Crucible. Now she's a worrywart. Constantly. She's constantly a worrywart. It drives me nuts. How about Cade? Cade is Cade. Great. Except now Cade's dead. That's not horrible writing. It's just, now he's dead. Brother Vance. Calm advocate of Osiris. A disciple of Osiris in Destiny 1. And now in Destiny 2, he's a sniveling fanboy. He's the whiniest punk that I want to kick in the crotch that I've ever seen. How about Osiris? A character from the Grimoire we desperately wanted to meet. He is a freaking legend. Finally, we get to meet him, and he's an absent-minded buffoon. Anna Bray should be dead. I've already gone over that one. Oh, okay. How about this? How about Nokris, brother of the Hive God Crota? Remember Crota? Nokris is his brother. Oh yeah, we killed Nokris in 10 minutes, and I killed him with an auto rifle and some grenades. Whoop-de-doo. How about Zol, worm god of the Hive? And we're talking the gods that gave Oryx his power. And now I get to kill him, Zol. I get to kill Zol with a stick in 15 minutes. It's so... I can't stand it. I hate it. In a nutshell, the most important part of any book, movie, TV show, or video game is its story. And I cannot stand what Bungie has done to the story of Destiny. The lack of continuity and adherence to their own canon is disgusting. The warping of the characters and the shallow story writing it leaves me angry and frustrated. And I hate it. Point number 2. Crucible. As I'm pretty sure anybody who watches my videos knows by now, I love PvP. I love Destiny Crucible combat. The intensity of a big 6v6 match of Control or Rift or Clash. The sweaty palms and rapid heartbeat of winning a clutch match of Trials of Osiris. Golly, those were the good old days. Destiny 2? Yeah. What are my choices? Quick play and what? Competitive? Why can I not select Clash or Control or Rift? Hello, where did Rift go? I loved Rift. Where did that game mode go to? I could try the new Gambit mode, which I've heard great things about the Gambit mode, but I don't want to kill a PvE monster. I may be in the minority there, but I want a straightforward PvP match. Now, on top of that, we get into a quick play game. Things are going pretty well. I got a triple kill. Oh, wait, no, it's not a triple kill. It's a triple play. Oh, yeah, I headshot one guy for a kill, then I shot 2 other players in the knees, but my buddy finished them off. But to make me feel better, Bungie's going to give us both triple play medals. Hooray for participation trophies! Then we get to the end of the match, and I'm not given my KD or my KD plus assist. No, I'm giving some stupid efficiency rating. This is some weird algorithmic mess that makes me and my fellow players all look like PvP gods. The whole point, medal, and end of game stat system that is in Destiny 2 is nothing more than a sickening morass of feel-good bullcrap. It's the competitive equivalent of everyone getting in a circle, holding hands, and singing Kumbaya. I would rather hug a rabid Wolverine. And I can hear some of you right now. But Telric, I like the combined scoring system. It focuses more on team play and promotes better cooperative mentality among players. To that, I have one thing to say. Get good scrub. Oh, you don't like that? Suck it up. Get better at the game you play. Think outside the box. Learn from your mistakes. Adapt with your weapons and maps. Learn your subclass to maximize your abilities. But having a developer coddle to the casual players does not engender competitive improvement in players. It makes them, it makes me, it makes you lazy. As a competitive player, I want raw data. I want my kills, my deaths, and my assists separate and clearly defined. I want my kill streaks not to be lumped with my assists. I want my gameplay to have value, to be something to brag about. I want to congratulate my teammates when they make big plays, have good KD stats, or the leader in assists. Let's back up a minute. In Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo Reach, and Destiny, the 4 previous Bungie games, competitive PvP was a huge deal. Your big moment plays and perfect games meant something. In those games, I could get a perfection or unbroken medal. 15 kills, no deaths, and a win. Destiny 2, I could go unbroken now with simply tagging 15 players with enough damage for a credit of a kill and make sure I don't die. That's it. That's all I got to do. I don't have to actually get kills. The coveted We Ran Out of Medals award that was given to you for a 25 kill streak in Destiny 1, 25 kills. I mean, that's a lot. I only managed it 4 times in Destiny. Destiny 2, just stay alive to do enough damage to 25 consecutive targets. Whoop-de-doo. This year, 2018, I have become fairly addicted to playing PUBG. Most of the time I play solo. Why? Why play a game of Battle Royale? The reason is because it's the closest thing to Destiny 1 Trials of Osiris that I've experienced over the last year. The heart-pounding, sweaty hands, big clutch moments type PvP. No assists, only kills, and only the last man standing wins. That is what I want in my games. Clearly defined good and bad stats. In summary, the data provided to players in Destiny 2's Crucible is all one big lie, with no end goals to strive for. It is designed to make players feel good about crap performances. It devalues good players and exceptional gameplay and creates a culture of mediocrity. It makes me want to vomit. Point number 3. Subclass trees. Oh my word, I still cannot believe that Bungie made the subclass options fewer in Destiny 2. In Destiny 1, I had subclass options. They were never great, but I got to customize them to a certain extent. I could choose one of 3 grenades, try to maximize armor, recovery, or speed, and then I could tweak my subclass perks and slightly tailor my super ability to the activity I'm playing. Destiny 2 has 3 sets of perk clusters per subclass that are set in stone. Instead of making the subclass trees more diverse, they made them more stagnant. Instead of more options, there's less options. Why? Why? It is truly a very stale gaming experience not being able to adjust my character and just try new things. It's boring. For the entire time I played Destiny 2, I figured out in 5 hours of gameplay which skill set I liked better, set it to that particular setup, and never changed it. Not once. To this day, if I were to play Destiny 1, I will still tweak my subclass around for the armor and activity that I'm doing. Even 4 years later. Destiny 2, I don't touch it. It's been set in stone. There's no need. I don't need to change it at all. It's Destiny 2 by comparison is just flat and boring in the area of subclasses. That's it. It's boring. Point number 4. Armor options and weapon perks. So, going from the subclasses, that drops me into my next grievance. Armor and weapon perks. Boring. Boring, 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 boring. Do you remember the number of options armor came with? Perks for faster reload on particular weapons, extra ammo for heavy or special weapons, longer grenade throw, faster melee. The number you always look for in your intellect, strength, and discipline, all those things that kind of made your armor better, that you could strive to make that armor just the way you liked it. There was a wealth of options. Armor had a purpose. You had particular setups and builds based on your armor combined with the subclass. Destiny 2 has the most dumbed-down armor system. It's pathetic. Not once did I bother changing around my armor for activities in D2. I tried to find a look I liked, put it on my character, and left it. And it's still there. I haven't adjusted it. After 400 hours of playing the game, I didn't change it. And I probably never will, because I have no need to. There's nothing compelling me to tweak my armor to a better stat system. Point number 5. Okay, so this was a huge issue for me transitioning from Destiny to Destiny 2. In Destiny, we as fans and consumers were long given the impression that we would get to accumulate gear and weapons and build our legend going into the future. And I love this idea. I thought it was an amazing and bold step for Bungie to create an FPS game with elements in it similar to the legacy of World of Warcraft. You get to start this character, build this character, you get to hold on to this character for the entire length of the franchise, and you get to add to it, add to it, add to it. At least that's what we thought, like World of Warcraft. But then the bad news came that everything would be new and fresh in Destiny 2, as our characters will lose all their gear. Okay, it's not great, but I can live with it. New weapons, new exotics, new armor. Okay, cool. Let's try this. The very first exotic engram I decrypted in Destiny 2 gave me an exotic chest piece I had in Destiny 1, the Crest of Alpha Lupi on my Titan. I still wear Crest of Alpha Lupi on my Titan. Constantly. It's my look. And it was the first thing I got in Destiny 2. And at first I was excited. Yeah, I got the Crest of Alpha Lupi. Guess what? I already bought it in Destiny 1. Why did I buy it again in Destiny 2? The next couple engrams that I got over the course of the next few months, I ended up getting guns and armor that I already had in Destiny 1. I'd already bought these Destiny 1 items multiple times as the game progressed, and I purchased the newest DLC. But now I have to buy the same crap all over again? Are you freaking kidding me? Why should I pay Bungie more money for the exact same stuff I was paying them for over the last few years? Why should I repurchase something I already own? Because that's what it is. It's buying the exact same stuff over and over and over and over again. You hear this sound? That is the sound of my wallet snapping shut for a long time when it comes to Destiny products. I don't appreciate being gouged into buying the same thing multiple times and feeling lied to about it. Point number 6. Eververse and customization. Does anybody remember the Eververse shader controversy of the first week of Destiny 2? I do. That still ranks as some of the smelliest bullcrap I've ever witnessed in a game. Has it gotten better? Yeah, but Eververse is still there. Eververse is still a major force of Destiny 2, though I think players have just become used to it. You still pick up engrams from her of some variety or another, even if they're free. And while you're standing there, getting your free engram, behold, look at all the stuff you get from her if you use real money and buy silver. Yeah, it's a scam, and I don't like scams. Oh, and by the way, Activision just had an earnings report concerning Forsaken where the game did not sell as well as they wanted it to because players such as myself did not return to the game. So do you know the solution they've come up with to help solve the issue? Yeah, more microtransactions which they will foist on you, the player who still plays the game. So if you're still invested in Destiny 2, they want to get more money out of you because they couldn't get it out of me. That's a really wonderful idea, isn't it? It's fantastic. Going back to shaders for a minute, I still hate that system. Applying shaders to more stuff like your weapons and ships and separate armor pieces, that was a good idea. It really was a good idea. But using different in-game currencies to purchase and apply said colors, and once you've used a shader, it must be re-earned or repurchased. Stupid. Absolutely stupid. Unfathomably stupid. And lastly, the armor aesthetics in this game suck. Especially Titan armor. I mean, holy cow. What are those things on your shoulders? Fish bowls? I know 5-year-olds who could design better Titan armor. I swear, someone was bored at Bungie and decided that the aesthetics of a cardboard box taped onto a player's shoulders, legs, and head would make for good-looking armor. I just... Gag me with a spoon! And don't get me started on Iron Banner armor. How the bloody crap did we go from awesome Knights of the Middle Ages looking armor in Taken King, which was pretty stinking awesome, to the Norse and Viking motif of Rise of Iron, which it was still pretty good. I still like that. And now we have Iron Banner samurai armor. It looks so stupid. It's Iron Lords, Bungie, not Iron Ninjas. Come on. What next? Iron Apaches? How about Iron Comanche? Iron Cherokee? We could get armor that makes us look like we've got feathers in our hats and running around with a tomahawk. Good grief. In a nutshell, I hate how armor looks in D2. And that leads me to point number 7. Aesthetics in general. Especially enemy aesthetics. In Destiny 1, you look at enemies such as the Fallen, the Taken, the Hive, the Vex, and there's a certain look there. And I don't even know how to explain it, so if someone can figure it out for me, I'd appreciate it. But the aesthetics in Destiny 2, when I look at an enemy combatant, I get lost. I almost can't seem to track the target as well. And I don't know if it's because of the background that's been put into Destiny 2 or if it's the game was designed for PC. I have no idea, and I cannot explain it at all. But basically, the game doesn't look as crisp to me as Destiny 1 did. It almost feels overly cluttered. And I don't like looking at it. I mean, the skyboxes, don't get me wrong, the skyboxes, when you point your gun up into the sky and you look at the moon or the stars or whatever background of whatever planet you're on, like I don't know, when you're on Titan, you can see Saturn, you can see the Dreadnought up in the rings of Saturn. I mean, that's amazing stuff. That's great art. But I'm talking about the everyday combat in Crucible or in Patrol or a Strike. It's just, it feels overwhelming, and I have a hard time looking at it. I don't enjoy looking at the game like I do in Destiny 1. I don't know. I can't even really explain it. So, if you're still watching this video, for some strange reason. Oh, that's my rant. I'm done. I'm never playing Destiny 2 again. I just don't like the game. Frankly, I hate the game. I hate what it could have been, but it will never be. So, if you decide to hang around and watch videos from this channel, I'm going to give you a sneak preview into the future here. There are going to be 4 more videos here in the next couple of months. 3 of them, actually all 4 of them are montages. One is going to be a montage of hunter clips of mine from Destiny 1. One of them is going to be a montage of warlock clips of mine from Destiny 1. One of them is going to be a raid montage, clips that I've had from different raids I've done, mostly with my clan. Just kind of a commemorative final goodbye to the raids of Destiny 1, and a fond look back at all the good times I've had with my friends. And then the 4th video is going to be a montage of Titan clips of mine, and that one is going to feature some original music, and so I'm really excited about that montage and making that the big grand finale of all my Destiny 1 videos. And after that, that'll be it for Destiny. Destiny 1 videos, Destiny 2 videos. After that, I'm done. Past that video, I'm jumping into Anthem, BioWare's newest game. I'm really excited about Anthem. It is not Destiny, and I don't ever think it will be Destiny. But what I have seen from that game, and getting to be online and chatting with the developers from BioWare about their game, Anthem is very exciting for me. So if you're going to stay here, get ready. We're jumping into Anthem come February. So that's the plan. As always, my name is Telric. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.